Welcome to Movement, Rhythm, and Conversation, the show where we delve into the profound impact of religion, spark provoking conversation, explore the world through an open-minded perspective. I'm your host, Tafari, here to bring you engaging discussions, eye-opening stories, and conversation that pulls no punches. Whether it's faith, culture, creativity, or real-life experience, we keep it raw, honest, and unfiltered. Peace and power, family. Before we get started, please take a moment to do something important. Hit the like button, subscribe, turn on your notifications so you never miss an episode of Movement, Rhythm, and Conversations with Tafari. Every click, share, and subscriptions help push this movement forward, spreading knowledge, rhythm, and power into our community. Let's rise together. Now, let's get into today's conversation.
Can we just real quick talk about church hurt? Have you ever experienced church hurt before? Have you ever been told that you go to church for God and not for man, and that it shouldn't worry you and that you shouldn't leave a church because of that? I've heard that before, and I agree and disagree. I agree because you are supposed to go to church for God and not for man. But if you're going to hold one side accountable, please hold the other side accountable as well. When are we going to start holding accountable the saints that are just messy, talking about folks without even knowing their full situation, making a mockery of people, embarrassing them to the point where they don't come back? Can we hold those people accountable as well? I was a victim of church hurt a couple years ago. I was pregnant with my 5th child, and you don't see a rank on my finger. I've been married since I was 20 and I turned 33 this year. They were under the assumption that me and my husband were shacking up, and they were counting my kids out loud. Oh, they shacking up, and they got the nerve to come and sit up in church. And mind you, they were loud, so I know if I heard them, everybody else heard them. But I wasn't there for God. I wasn't there for them. I was there for God. But let's just say if I wasn't rooted and grounded in my belief system, you would have deterred me and made me walk out. So how many other people have you driven out of the church with your filthy mouth? That's my question. So if you're going to hold one side accountable, baby, please hold the other side accountable. Just because a person decides to speak out against something that they disagree with and has biblical proof to back it doesn't mean that their church hurt. We are speaking out because we know that what we see is wrong. So church hurt is a topic that obviously needs to be addressed. So have you ever experienced church hurt yourself? And how have you gotten over that?
That was an audio clip from the podcast Moms Breaking Barriers. Welcome to Movement, Rhythm, and Conversations. I'm your host, Tafari, where we unchain the mind, reclaim the soul, and speak truth to the tradition that broke us. Today's conversation is personal for some people. It's about what happens when the place that's supposed to heal you hurt you. When church becomes a trigger instead of a sanctuary. When you leave Sunday service feeling guilty, drained, and unseen. And you start to wonder if your faith failed you or if the system did. We don't talk enough about the psychological damage that comes from spiritual betrayal, how leaders weaponize scriptures, how silence becomes survival, and how too many of us confuse loyalty with love. But hear me clearly. You can heal from church hurt without hating your God if that's your belief. You can protect your peace and still honor your spirituality. You can build your mental fitness and your faith on your own terms, with your own mind, in your own time. So let's talk about it. Let's pull back the veil, expose the manipulation, and start the real recovery work. Because faith without freedom is just bondage in disguise. This is mental fitness after church hurt. So let's begin the healing. Let's get into it. Let's begin with the wounds behind the worship. Church hurt runs deeper than people think. It's not just about being disappointed by a pastor or mistreated by the congregation. It's about being spiritually betrayed, told that the place that would heal you broke you. Most believers grew up believing that the church was a sanctuary, not a battlefield. But many walked in looking for peace and walked out carrying trauma. The pulpit became a stage, not a source of truth. And in that confusion, too many of us lost our balance emotionally, mentally, and spiritually. When faith turns into a wound, your mind begins to fight against your soul. That's what we call spiritual fatigue, the exhaustion of believing in people who use God's name for power. What happens when the mind is under manipulation? For centuries, the Black church has been both a place of liberation and of limitations. It's built movements, but it's also built idols in the pulpit. It inspired revolutions, but it also silenced questions. When you're told, don't question God, what they really mean is, don't question us. That's psychological control wrapped in scripture, and it leaves you thinking your pain is disobedience, your doubt is sin, and your boundaries are rebellion. Church hurt is not just emotional, it's mental conditioning. It's being trained to suppress your intuition, to swallow your voice, to hide your truth in the name of holiness. That's how people lose mental fitness, when they no longer trust their own minds to guide them. Let's talk about faith detox. To heal from church hurt, you don't have to throw away your faith if you're a believer, but you do have to detox it. Start by separating God from the institution and truth from tradition. Ask yourself, did God fail me or did the system fail me? Because systems can fail, leaderships can lie, doctrine can be twisted, but your soul, your spirit is yours. Healing begins when you separate faith from fear. God never told you to surrender your sanity. So let's talk strategy, a mental fitness plan. Healing from church hurt means rebuilding your mind like you rebuild your muscles through consistent mental fitness. Here's a workout plan. Number 1, rest. Stop over-spiritualizing your exhaustion. Take time away from religious space that trigger guilt. Number 2, reflection. Journal your church experience, the good, the bad, and the confusing. You can't heal what you won't name. Therapy. A licensed therapist isn't a replacement for God. It's a resource for you. Black therapy is liberation. Number 4, reconnecting. Finding spirituality on your own terms through nature, music, meditation, or silence. You don't need a pulpit to meet peace. Number 5, boundaries. You owe no one access to your vulnerability. Protect it like sacred land. Every time you practice self-awareness, you exercise mental strength. Every time you say no to manipulation, you're lifting the weight of your own power. So let the mind be reborn. The truth is, church hurt doesn't end your faith. It refines it. It forces you to rebuild your relationship with your God, if that's your belief, from scratch, without the noise, shame, or intermediaries. The new temple isn't brick and mortar. It's the human mind at peace. The new worship isn't about performance. It's about authenticity. And the New Testament isn't about how high you shouted. It's about how deep you healed. Your mind deserves rest. Your heart deserves honesty. Your soul deserves to breathe again. So you are the new sanctuary. You are the sanctuary now. You are the altar, the choir, the sermon, and the light. God doesn't live in a building. God lives in your breath. So when you're ready, take the first deep breath and say to yourself, I am no longer a prisoner of people, opinions. I am healing. I'm whole. I'm home. Because the most radical act of faith is mental wellness. So your mental fitness after church hurt. Healing after church hurt isn't about turning your back on faith. It's about finding the courage to walk towards truth. You don't have to carry guilt for wanting peace. You don't have to apologize for protecting your mind. And you don't need permission to rest from religion that rob you of rest. The most powerful form of worship is self-awareness. The most sacred form of prayer is peace. And the greatest testimony you'll ever give is the one where you finally say, I'm healed. So today, if you take nothing else from this conversation, take this. You are not broken because you walked away from the building. You are rebuilding because you walked back into yourself. This has been Movement, Rhythm, and Conversation with Tafari. Until next time, unchain your mind, reclaim your soul. Now, let's reclaim our economic power. If today's conversation spoke to you, don't keep it to yourself. Share with the family. Hit the like button, subscribe, and turn on your notification so you never miss an episode of Movement, Rhythm, and Conversation with Tafari. Together we rise. Unchain your mind, reclaim your soul.